Hello, everyone. Welcome to WTV Talk. It's me, Despina Marie, and I am so excited to be here with you today. I am all dolled up, you all, because I had the privilege and opportunity to be a part of the Harmonizing Echoes 58th, 58th anniversary. How do you stay in music 58 years? You have to love it. So I'm so excited celebrating with the Harmonizing Echoes. I just left their virtual live recording. I had the privilege of announcing them and doing their interview. You'll be getting to see that more a little bit later on, but I'm so excited. I'm happy for you. Congratulations to the Harmonizing Echoes on 58 years. So I'm looking for all of my friends. I need you to join me right now. Tonight, y'all. Tonight is gonna be off the chain. I mean, I know it's an old folks term, but I heard my little grandson say, "Ooh, I'm sneaky." I'm like, what does that mean? So he kept saying, "Ooh, I'm sneaky," and I'm thinking, no sneaky around here, buddy. And I said, "What does that mean?" He said, like cool. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm sneaky." So I'm here tonight, y'all. We have an amazing guest who's going to be talking to us about serial entrepreneurship. And I'm excited because I tag her serial entrepreneurial. That's right, because this is a praying woman. She is an intercessor. She's walked with me for so many years. And who better to feature on tonight than those who are close to me, whose testimonies I know, whose journeys I've watched. You guys, okay, listen, I can't see a thing. All right, so we're going to put those back on. I'll try to keep them up for you. But whose journey I've watched, who I've known for, my goodness, nearly 20 years. And she is an amazing witness of a woman who has an entrepreneurial mind. That's right. That's right. Her day job just finances her vision. Come on, somebody. If you ever understood that your day job just finances your vision. All right. So I know that we are in How Did I Get Here? Before I bring my host, my guest on, I want to go back to our scripture because we left at the point of what I shared with you guys about practice. Practice does not make perfect. We are perfected, yes, as we continue to practice, but practice makes permanent. And we need to be walking in the gifting, the calling, the ministry that God has given us, the occupation. We need to have a season of apprenticeship. We need to be working in that thing so that when it's our time up at bat, listen, we don't strike out. And when it was Joseph's time up at bat, he didn't strike out, y'all. He didn't strike out. He hit a home run. So last week we were talking about, thank you for all of those who are joining me. Welcome to WTV Talk. Welcome. Do me a favor, share everywhere. Tonight we will be on until 9. We started at 8:15 tonight because I was helping a brother out with the Harmonizing Echoes 58th anniversary concert. So welcome. Do me a favor right now. Share everywhere. Hi, I love you. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so we were talking last week about how practice makes permanent. Let me just do a quick review. So the first week I shared with you how dreams are a portal. That's right. Dreams are a literal transportation from heaven to earth, God transmitting signals to us, telling us what he desires to happen in the earth. And I'm talking about prophetic dreams. Now, I'm not talking about that dream you had because you ate a pork chop and you went to sleep on it. You ate some bacon and you got a little acid reflux, had a crazy dream. I'm not talking about that dream. I'm talking about prophetic dreams where you wake up and you know that God is ministering something to you. There's a literal transmission that is coming from heaven. Joseph experienced that transmission from God. He had a couple of dreams. His brothers hated him, and the more he talked about his dreams, they hated him even more. And and now we're come to this place where David is sold into slavery, or he's thrown into a pit, and then he's sold, and he ends up in Egypt. When he gets to Egypt, he has the favor of God already on him. The favor of God is already on him, so much so that when he gets into Egypt, it doesn't give us a timeline. We know that it was at around 17 when he had his dream. When it came fully into fruition, he was in his early 30s, so about 13 or 15 or so years. Between the dream and the transmission to the fruition. Woo! That's a word right there. The transmission to the fruition. So some of us are caught in the translation period of the transmission to the fruition. And I don't want you to give up, because that's how you're going to get there. You're going to get there by being steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, as much as you know your labor is not in vain. Whatever God has said, he will do. If he spoke it, he'll bring it to pass. He cannot lie. One thing you can be sure of: people will fail you. They'll make you promises. They'll tell you, I'm going to help you. They'll tell you, I'll be with you. They'll tell you, I'm your ride or die. They will tell you, nobody's going to come between us. They'll tell you, I got your back. I mean, the whole gamut. But one thing you can be certain of, and now listen, I'm not discrediting anyone, because some people, God literally had to transition and move them so that they would not miss out on their destiny as well. And so that they would not listen. Sometimes, oh God, I hear revelation right here. Sometimes you got to put people out of your life because you are hindering their progress and you're hindering your process. Woo! Glory. Hi, yeah. Hey, glory. That was a word. Some people you literally have to put out of your life. Joseph's brothers had to put him out of their life. Out of their life. Yes, it had to happen. I hear somebody, I want you to know it had to happen like that. That marriage, it had to happen like that. That friendship, it had to happen like that. That thing with your children, it had to happen like that. That getting fired on your job, it had to happen like that, because it was hindering you. It was either hindering your progress or your process. Somewhere in the middle, you need a process in order to progress, and it was hindering you. So some people, God will literally take out of your life. He has to put them out because they're being hindered and you're being hindered too. You got two separate destinies at work and you're trying to make it one. Come on, somebody. I know I'm talking good. And so here is Joseph. Here's Joseph being put out. He had to be put out. He had to be put out. And you know what? It's a good thing sometimes to be put out. And he finds himself, you always say finds himself, but we know how he got there. Okay? We know how you got there. If it weren't for people breaking your heart, you wouldn't be where you are today. If it weren't for the abusive situation you went through, you wouldn't be where you are today. I wouldn't be the prayer warrior I am today if I hadn't gone through all the hell that I went through in my life. If I hadn't gone through those things, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I'd be comfortable. You know, even now that I am comfortable and God has blessed me so tremendously, the Lord said, it is not time for you to take a rest or take an ease. There's still more work for you to do. And if those things had not happened, you wouldn't be who you are today. So give God all the glory. That's why the Bible says in all things to give thanks, because this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. Give him thanks. Give him thanks for the tests. Give him thanks for the trials. Give him thanks for the tribulations. It was all necessary. And it was all necessary for Joseph so that when he got to Egypt, Joseph was already in a position of desperation. I need some people who are desperate. Some people have lost some things. Some people have gone through some things that when they show up, they know this is it. This is my opportunity and I'm going to make the most of it. There's some people right now that this is your moment and you're going to make the most of it. But I come to tell you that though it's your moment, it may not be your time. Woo! Good God Almighty. I'm going to rest on that for a second. Though it may be your moment, it may not be your time. What do you mean, Apostle? Or what do you mean, Despy? It may be your moment to show what you have, but it may not be your time to walk in what you have. because Joseph was able to show what he had when he went into Potiphar's house. He was able to rule everything, the Bible says. Read the 37th chapter, read that. He was able to show him everything he had. And then skip on over to the 39th chapter. He was able to show him everything he had. And he was just starting out. So just imagine what you have right now and what you will have 10, 15 years later, how much greater and how much more perfected you will be. And that's why I'm excited. I've got this serial entrepreneur on with me tonight. I'm going to bring her on just a moment. I'm going to bring her on. But that's why I'm excited, because she can talk about the journey. She can share with you the course of time that it took to arrive to the place where she is now, and still growing in business and still starting new business. Oh my goodness. So listen, when you begin to produce, you become a producer. So that's what happened with Joseph. When he began to produce, he became a producer. And so even when persecution came, and that's what I want to talk about tonight. How did I get here? You got there through trial, tribulation, persecution. Yes, persecution. You got there through people lying on you, because Joseph was doing fine. And here was Pharaoh's, Potiphar's wife, who was had a lust spirit and was attracted to him, was probably attracted to his intelligence and his beauty and his elegance and just who he was. And he would not. He said, the master has given me charge over everything in the house. Listen, the Bible said that the master had given him charge over everything, so much so that he didn't even know what he was going to eat. That's how much authority and trust that he had given to Joseph. And here is that person that's always hanging around. There's always one person hanging around looking to set you up. And let me tell you something about the spirit of emulation. The spirit of emulation is that person that wants to be you, but they can't be you, so they try to act like you when really they despise you. Oh, let me say it again. That person who wants to be you, so they try to act like you, walk like you, talk like you, but they really can't stand you. They just want what you have. And so this woman wanted that. She wanted that. That authority. She was attracted to that. She was attracted to his drive. He was basically almost in the same role as Potiphar. So now she's attracted to this man of authority. She was married to a man of authority. And so she's now attracted to this man of authority. Okay. But he's not her husband. That's not his wife. He said, no, ma'am. So because of that, she faked that he raped her, sexually assaulted her. And so he ended up in the dungeon. How do you go from that place of having achieved so many wonderful things? I know I got a witness on here tonight. You've achieved so many great things, then all of a sudden it's like you didn't do anything at all. You're right back at rock bottom. You're right back where you started, and it feels like I don't even, it feels like I don't have any more value. I don't know what I'm going to do. You feel like it is over. But Joseph knew that God had given him a promise. And listen, that promise in that dream, was that his brothers were going to come. Remember, the sun and the moon bowed down to him, and then the 11 stars. So he had not reached that. Listen to me. I was on a plane headed to Europe to sing with my brother. Thank God for my brother, Earl Bynum, world-renowned gospel recording artist. They call him Mr. Europe. I had the opportunity to go and sing with him, and I saw myself in a dream before I was even chosen to be a part of his choir. I saw myself in a dream that a man came to get me, and I went to a foreign country and I sang. I had no idea. We weren't connected like that. And he reached out to me. He had an open spot, and he said, I saw you somewhere or something. He said, I want to know if you'd like to be a part of this. Now listen, here's what I'm getting to. All right, so we're there, everything's wonderful. Then we're on our way, everything's wonderful, and the plane starts rumbling. I mean, like rumbling. And they look at me, and I'm basically asleep. I'm just nodding off, and they're like, okay, so she's nodding off, we must be good. I was nodding off, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna be all right, preacher. I'm like, hey, I saw myself accomplishing so much more So this is not the end. Even if this plane goes down in flames, I'm walking out because God has shown me that I'm singing in Europe, and he's shown me so much more. And God did take us there. But imagine Joseph going to the height, the pinnacle, and then being taken down. He's taken down, he's thrown into a dungeon. Now he's in a dungeon. Do you think he second guessed the promises of God? This is what I want you to know. How do you get there? You be steadfast. Like I started out, you be steadfast, knowing you're going to be persecuted, knowing you're going to be lied on, knowing you're going to be mistreated, knowing you're going to be backstabbed, knowing you're going to be betrayed by your family, knowing you're going to be betrayed by those that walk closest to you, knowing all of that. Stay steadfast. Why? Because God has to keep his word. God cannot lie. He keeps his word. And so I can imagine that Joseph was probably in that dungeon saying, hey, I haven't seen the sun and the moon. Hey, I haven't seen the 11 stars yet. Hey, I haven't seen the time of famine where God's going to use me to help cause dispersion of what is needed. Hey, I haven't reached there yet, so it's not over. It's not over till God says it's over. And Joseph understood that even in his dungeon. Oh, glory to God. I'm talking to somebody tonight that even in your dungeon, you need to know that it's not over. It's not over. You're just getting started. That was just your trial run. That was just your apprenticeship. That was just the start of something great. But it's going to take you being steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. How did I get here? Steadfast. Don't move. Always stick to whatever he's told you. Steadfast. Be right there. Don't move. It doesn't matter who's with you. Don't move. It doesn't matter who walks away. Don't you walk away. It doesn't matter. Be steadfast. Don't move. Abound. When I say abound in the work, I mean just do it. Do it. You know, I used to say I'm going to preach the same way I would preach to 7,000 people. That God blessed me to be able to preach in Africa to nearly 7,000 people. I'm going to preach the same way if it's seven. Come on. Always abound. Be the best at whatever it is that God has given you. It doesn't matter who your audience is. When my audience was my 4 children lined up on the couch, I taught Bible study like I was teaching at TD Jakes Church. Always abound in the work of the Lord, because your labor is not in vain. You're coming out of that dungeon. You're coming out of that prison. You're coming out of that thing. Lord, have mercy. You're coming out, and your process is going to give you progress. Your process, what you're going through, is going to give you progress. I'm so excited tonight. If you want to sow, you can do that. If this is blessing you, if WTV Talk is blessing you, sow a seed. You can sow a seed to Lady Cuffy or paypal.me/Despico. Any seed. Listen, sow, and when you know it's good ground, sow into good ground. I'm excited, you guys. Are y'all ready? I've got a dear daughter, a wonderful friend. Oh my goodness, she's been around. I have watched her for so many years be successful at whatever her hands touch. And you might go, well, what's the need to do more than one thing? If you're successful at doing the one thing, why stop at one when God's gifted you with so many more? You know, the Bible says that he gives various gifts according to our several abilities. God blesses us. And this woman of God is truly, truly blessed. I want to introduce you to her tonight. Come on, you guys, you're out there. Put your hands together for serial entrepreneur Colleen Suggs. She is here with me tonight. Welcome to WTV Talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, let's get some. I'm so glad to have you here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, your sound is coming. Okay, your sound's coming in a little delayed, but that's okay. I'll just make sure I pause in between.
Okay.
Okay, so tonight you are here, and I'm sure more than anybody, you can talk about the process to get to the place called there. You know, that I think a lot of times God amazes me, you know, and it's like, how did I get here? It happened so we think that it's the process is so difficult or so challenging, but it really takes just being who you are. So I'm going to give you a moment to share with the people who you are, tell them a little bit about your background, and just introduce yourself to our audience here on WTV Talk.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Suggs, and as she said, I believe I now technically I am a serial entrepreneur. Um, I actually started off as a little kid. My mom used to make clothes, so I've always had a passion for making clothes. But I didn't realize that I came from a family of entrepreneurs until I began to start looking back. My grandfather owned a grocery store. He owned land. All of my aunts, they sewed. They did different things. So I didn't realize until I got older this was a passion of mine. uh, Everything I did is start off with a love for hair. So at the age of 10 and 11 years old, I would have friends to come over and I would braid their hair. And then when we transitioned and moved to Virginia, I started doing friends' hair in my bedroom. My mom would allow me to do it. And from there, I went to working at a hair salon. And from the hair salon, I started working on making jewelry. And it's interesting how my jewelry track began is because everybody started doing beaded jewelry and it wasn't a lot of beaded jewelry around here in the area. And I was talking to a young lady at work. I was like, so how do I find this? So she said, I don't know. I know it's a place in Richmond. So I set out to go find this place in Richmond. And I had a friend that was supposed to go with me and she never answered her phone. And the girl that told me it was in Richmond, she gave me a roundabout address. So in faith, I drove to Richmond one morning and I found a place and I walked around this little mall and there was a store and it was a Oriental lady. And I said, I want to learn how to make this jewelry and I want to buy this stuff. And she said, if you have time, I will teach you. Watch me do repairs. And for 2 hours, I sat in the store in Richmond and I watched her. She gave me everything I need to make a set. She showed me how to price, how to do all that. I didn't know how to begin, but she showed me and I went in faith. And once I left there, that began the journey of researching and I would call her and she would help me. And that's how the jewelry journey began. Then God said, okay, do bigger than just people, you know. I said, okay,
Okay.
I don't really do
Okay,
that
so
much.
I want
I'm sorry.
I really I know that was great. So far I'm like I'm chatting with the people who are watching us on WTV Talk and I'm just like naming off the different businesses that you started. Or that you know you worked with the hair salon and then you started your own hair, you know, as a hairdresser. I remember you way back when you were doing hair.
Yes,
And so you were doing hair as well as a business. And then I also remember when you were selling the beautiful beaded jewelry sets. Now,
yes.
I want to talk about your jewelry sets for a moment because, you know, the serial entrepreneurship can be translated into so many different things. It's like you
Mhm.
just have vision. You know, a serial entrepreneur has vision. One person I really, really love is like, and maybe we'll get her on the show. It's Sunshine Swinson. I mean, that
Mhm.
girl gets a vision, and the next thing you know, she's got another business popping up. I see you that way. You know, you just got all of these things popping up, and so for your jewelry business, you were doing like big conferences and stuff. Tell us a little bit about
Yes.
that.
That was the next step in faith where God said, okay, you just can't do it with the friends you know. You have to do conferences. And my first conference was Apostle Harrell's leadership. And it was
Next
in the
level leadership.
next
Yeah.
level leadership. And it was in Hampton. It was the first year it was there. And that was my first big conference. And from there,
Wow.
I gained confidence in knowing that what I had, it works.
So
And
you
from
did that whole concept of practice makes permanent. You didn't give up. You started with hairdressing and then you went on and now you're doing jewelry. So now what happened next?
Then after then, I began to start during that process. I've always had dreams, and visions and things that I wrote down in a notebook, and
Dream
I didn't know when they
vision.
were going to
Wow.
happen. So
Uh-huh.
everything was like happening in sync through my notebook, but I didn't realize it until I went back and referred to it. So I had always had the dreams of the jewelry. I had dreams of the next step was making handkerchiefs and lap cloths. And
Uh-huh.
so that was the next thing. And I was like, okay, how do I begin this? And then God just, he showed it to me in dreams and visions. And I went out there and I researched. I was like, oh, I'm on the right track. And then that's when
Okay,
handkerchiefs.
stop right there. Stop right there. One moment. Don't lose your thought, because I heard you say it started with dreams and visions.
Yes.
But you had to step out.
Yes.
And so for a lot of people, it's not enough just to get the dream.
Mm-mm,
You have
not at
to do
all.
more than just dream about it. You've got to take the next step and do something with it. And I think I talked about that on last week. And I can't remember exactly the topic, but it was a 3-step process. You can't
Mm-hmm.
just have a dream and go, oh, I got a dream.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what it was. It was download, upload, and
Upload. And
activate.
right. From the video, download the video game.
Yeah, download, upload, and activate. So
Yes.
so now you've downloaded that you're an entrepreneur. You
Mm-hmm.
received this from God, and you upload your first business of hairdresser. Then you get another upload. I really think about the parable of the farmer and the talents, or the one with the talents, where he gave
Mm-hmm.
some 5, 3, and I believe it was 1. And the
Mm-hmm.
one that had 1 went and buried it. And he
Right.
said, well, I knew you were hard and that you would come and require, what you'd given me. So I didn't want to lose it. I buried it. And he called him wicked. He said,
Yes.
you are wicked. You could
Mm-hmm.
have at least put it to usury. You could have made some money off of what I gave you, or you could have benefited, or someone could have benefited from what I gave you. And he said he'll take that, even what you think you have, and he'll give it to someone else. And so I think for some of us, sometimes when we don't do what God's called us to do, God will
Mm-hmm.
endow someone else to do it. You didn't know
Absolutely.
jury before you started doing jury. You were
No.
endowed. And so now, because of your activation, you just keep getting downloads. So now you're growing, and
Yes.
you have your cloth, your prayer cloths, your prayer shawls, okay, and your towels. I'm blessed with quite a few, multiple colors. I'm sure you can probably still get some through her new business. But now from there, tell us what happened.
Then from there, God said it's not enough. I was like, okay, what else do I do? He said, go back to the thing that you know to do. And I said, what is that? And that was sewing.
Mm-hmm.
As a teenager, there were some times where people had things and I wanted them and it didn't quite fit. So I would go to what they call, I think it was a place called Peace Goods in Portsmouth. And I would go
Uh-huh.
get me a pattern and I would make the same thing that everybody else had. And I would just make it in whatever style or color that I wanted.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So that was so sewing. So I started making skirts.
Okay.
And from skirts, now I have evolved into, I've made a couple of dresses. I've recently made bow ties.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's just really expanded, and to the point where now not only am I doing that, but I've been able to do some importing from Africa, which God has blessed me with connects in Africa. So I've been able to import African fans. I've been able to import fabric. And so that's the newest thing. I have fabric. I have a overload of fabric. So
Hold on. Did I just hear you say that a girl with a dream and a
yeah.
vision
Hmm.
that got up and did something with what she had has now become an importer?
Yes. Yes.
You
Yes.
are an importer. That means that now your business has expanded globally.
Absolutely. Yes.
You are receiving fabric from Africa, from different nations, importing it yourself. You, the
Yes.
business owner,
The business
serial
owner.
entrepreneur Colleen Suggs, is importing.
Yes.
So the product that they receive from you is product that is not only handmade, tailor made, but it is authentic, and that it
Yes.
is imported from the country where it originates. Woo.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Come
ma'am.
on, somebody. Okay, keep going.
And that's where I'm at with the business right now. God is blessing as far as my own personal business. Now there is a family business
Wait, don't
that
tell
is
me
the
yet.
next
Don't tell me
level.
yet. Don't tell me yet.
I'm
Don't
not
tell
gonna
us
tell
yet.
it.
No, don't tell us yet. Don't tell us yet. So not only did have you woo, good gracious almighty. Listen to me, somebody right now. She's getting ready to tell you about a family business. Okay. So, right now, while you are struggling, oh my God, while you are struggling with starting your business because of fear or anxiety or rejection or procrastination or whatever it is, not feeling enough, not feeling confident, not feeling smart enough, let me tell you something. Whatever God created you for, you're the best at that thing. You're better than anybody else.
That's right.
Nobody can beat you being you. I'm just authentically me. And no one
That's
can
right.
be me. No one can be Miss Colleen. No one can be you. And so, right now, if you are holding on to that dream or that vision and you have not uploaded that thing, you are potentially hindering the destiny of not just those around you, but your legacy, your generations, your children, and your children's children. And that's what happened with Joseph when he released the dream. He had to release the activation of the dream because his family stood to be blessed. Now imagine him saying, I'm not going to do it. I've been mistreated. Everybody's turned their back on me. Colleen, I'm sure that you've had a lot of people turn their back on you. I'm sure you've had people who have walked with you that you thought would be with you all of your life, your entire life. So before you tell us about that family business, somebody needs to get over this hump to understand that you cannot have this family legacy. You cannot have this generational blessing until you begin. And even when you begin, if you have to begin again and again and again and again,
Mhm.
you must do it. So, Colleen, somebody right now, I mean, I don't want to get all in your business, but I'm sure you probably got some stories without saying names of some of the trials that you had to face. Did you have times where just the bottom fell out? Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Had times when the bottom fell out where I had to stop my jewelry business, rename it. God said, you will not use that name anymore. Rename it, dedicate it back to me, and I will show you how to move forward. And then
Woo!
moving forward is when the conferences began to start. Even when there were times where couldn't I wasn't able to do events, God would still give me different downloads of making jewelry and how to incorporate different pieces and things like that. He would show me pieces before I would even see them. And so
Mm.
there came a time where, yes, my jewelry business, it wasn't the best, but I continued to be faithful to the thing because I know what he promised. And through
Mm-hmm.
that, I kept going. And of course, there were times where there were people who tried to duplicate or emulate the things that I did, but people knew the quality that I have. And that's the thing about it, is that don't be discouraged by those who may come in and try to
Imitate you.
steal your ideas,
Uh-huh.
try to take your ideas. Continue to move forward, because when God gives you a vision, he gave that vision specifically to you to work that plan. No one can take from you what God has given you. They'll never be able to work it the way that you work it. It will never prosper the way that it needs to prosper. It won't reach who it needs to reach because it's not theirs. So don't worry about them. You have to continue to press towards the mark. You have to
So
stay
it's
steadfast and unmovable.
okay. So I just heard you say that just from what I'm understanding, that one of the things that happened for you, the whole business, the bottom falling out, is
Mhm.
that you came to a place where God says you have to move from this place to the next place
Yes,
because
absolutely.
you said it wasn't at the quality of what God wanted for you. So he says, okay, the origin was your practice run. Remember, we talked about
Hmm.
Joseph? He had his
Yes,
practice run. And God says, now that you've had your practice run, you've been in Potiphar's house, you know what to do. Now you've had your practice run, you've made jewelry, you know what to do. Now I'm getting ready to take you on a whole nother level.
levels. It's levels to all of it.
Yeah, so Colleen, I heard someone say that imitation is the best form of flattery, but an imitator can never An imitator can only be a duplicator, not an
Not an
originator.
originator. Never.
An imitator can only be a duplicator, not an originator. And so God gave you downloads of original pieces. Okay, so now you're moving on. You have anointed coverings that grew
Yes.
out of that. And I know you make purses. I mean, I've seen you make some things out of old jeans. I mean, I've seen you
Yes.
make some, I mean,
It's called repurpose for purpose.
yes, repurpose for purpose. And
So
that's where you've taken jeans and made skirts. You've taken jeans and made purses.
yep.
I've seen you do some bling bling. I've seen you do some Ankara purses. I mean, just Ankara fans that you, is it Ankara or Ankara?
It's called Ankara.
Ankara fans that you've imported so that people have
Yes.
authentic African fans. I've seen you do so much. And now you have this joint venture, you
Yes.
and your husband. He's in the
Me
Outer
and my
Banks.
husband.
Oh, is he there? Yes.
He
Come
is
on,
here.
husband.
He's
Come
waiting
on,
on his part.
husband.
Mr.
Come on,
Suggs.
husband. Dr. T Love. So listen, you guys, I
Yes.
want you to share everywhere. We want people to be inspired. How did I get here? What happened in my life? Remember, I told you be steadfast, unmovable, and abound in whatever it is. I mean, be the best at whatever it is that God's blessed you to do. And no matter who you have to shake off, shake them off, and keep on moving. Because sometimes you got to shake the snakes. That's a word. You always have to shake the snakes. When the Apostle Paul was sitting around the camp and the snake jumped up and bit him, he had to shake the snake. That's right, baby. So shake the snakes and keep it moving. Don't you stop. You got a great work to do. So I'm so excited, you guys.
I got one more
I
thing
have
to
a
say.
favorite radio station. And my favorite, I think it's WTXG. Am I right on the call letters?
WXTG.
WXTG 100.9 the
101.9.
groove. 101.9 the
That's my partner
groove.
station.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Okay. So we are a serial entrepreneur in the house as well. And we're so excited. We've got none other than my brother, my friend. I'm so excited. You are the owner and his wife, co-owner of 100. Oh, that's not right. We're going to get that
That's my
right
partner
now.
station.
So you got more than one station.
No,
So
that's my
Mr.
partner station.
That's your
Mike.
partner. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You all go way back.
Oh yeah.
Like they say, old school lean back Cadillacs or something like that. So, Dr. T Love,
Yes.
Mr. Terry Suggs, I had the privilege of really, let me tell you right now, Terry, every one of my cars, including our motorcycle, 3 cars and a motorcycle, yes, we blessed, hallelujah. Every last one of them has 101.9 the groove on it. Call me a heathen if you want to. I don't care. I love good music. This is good music, you guys. This is old school music. This is what I call the OG music. When the lyrics were good and you could sing songs and nobody got offended. Mr. Terry Suggs, Dr. T Love, how did you get started?
In 1997,
Oh, history.
I started TL Communications, which is my engineering company. I didn't have not one client, and I just stepped out on faith. I was working at a radio station. I was a national program director for Willis Broadcasting at the time, and I got tired of doing that. And I said, wait a minute, something's not right here. I'm making him money. I'm not making myself any money.
Mm-hmm.
So I just stepped out, started TL Communications, didn't have not one client. Now I have 19 clients for my engineering company. And the engineering company started the radio station.
That's right.
One of my clients, the station that I have now, 101.9, one of my clients used to have that. And I asked him, I said, you want to sell the station? He said, no, not right now. Then he came back to me a year later and said, are you still interested in the station? I said, yeah. He said, well, what would you give me for it?
Wow.
I said, I'll give you this amount. He said, is that cash? I'm like, yeah. He said, deal.
Wow. First of all, you are a man of means.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
a wise man because you didn't take everything you spent. You prepared yourself for that day when you would fulfill your dream of having your own station. And so you didn't spend your seed. You kept your seed so that you could plant what is now 101.9 The Groove. All
Yes.
right. So tell us more. Now you have this station.
Now I have the station of it's an adventure. It's coming along. It's getting listeners every single day. On my internet hits, I'm getting over 2,000 hits on the internet.
Wow.
From Akron, Ohio, to Washington, D.C., New York, Philadelphia, North Carolina, Atlanta. It's just
wow.
It's amazing how many people are listening to the station.
Uh-huh.
When I have my T-shirt on, I'll walk around in Hampton and people go, "Hey, that's my radio station." I'm like, "Thanks for listening."
Wow.
It's been a blessing. And she can tell you, she used to call me Scrooge because I wouldn't spend any money. But I was always saving money because I know eventually one day something was going to come along. I would go out, cut grass, you name it, I would do it just to save money because I knew eventually one day a radio station was going to come my way.
Wow. So this was always a dream of yours to have your own radio station.
Yes.
And you worked for so many other people to help make them successful.
Yes.
And now you have, go ahead.
I made other people so much money and made their station successful. So I'm like, nah, it's time for me.
It's your time.
Yeah.
It is your time. And you know, I know some of those radio stations that you've made successful and they've done very well. And a lot of times people don't see who is behind the curtain or behind the scenes, the people that work behind the scenes that cause things to happen. But it is those people who work behind the scenes that if they were not doing the work that they were doing, things would not operate properly. And so at the appointed time or at that moment in your destiny, you took all of those years of what you were doing, perfecting someone else, and now you've moved it into your own. So now, what can we expect from 101.9 The Groove? Because I heard Dr. T Love on the radio today. Now, were you a DJ back in the day, Dr. Love?
Oh yes, I worked at 103 Jams. I did the reggae show on 103 Jams. And I got the highest ratings of any other jock on 103.
Wow.
From the reggae show. I worked at WPCE. I worked at 1350. I worked at 1270.
Wow.
And it's so amazing because when I was coming up as a kid, a lot of people would tell me from my hometown, you need to get a job at this place called DuPont. You need to get a job and get out of that radio crap because you'll never do anything doing radio. You're wasting your time. But something just kept telling me to keep going. And I just kept pursuing radio. And here I am.
That's right. Now you're here. Wow. Yeah. You know, I can imagine that, like you said, there are times when you have these dreams that are so big. Has there ever been a time that this dream you've had of owning your own radio station, like in your early days, was so big that you thought, that's me making that up. You know, that'll probably never happen.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking I've always wanted my own station. I said, that's just a big dream. It'll never happen. But something just kept telling me,
you can do it.
Wait.
That's right.
It's going to come. And it came.
Pipe dreams do come true.
Yes. And it feels so good not to have to make a bank payment.
Wow. This man, listen, you guys, listen to him. Not only did his dream come true. But he put himself in a position. Remember, I told you, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. He put himself in a position financially. He didn't say it happened overnight. He didn't say he hit the lottery. He didn't say he inherited a lot of money. He didn't say that he dug in a well and money popped out, or a little leprechaun dropped some gold on him. No, he said he cut grass and he put away. His wife said he was a Scrooge, but he always put something away so that when the time came, and when we're talking a radio station, we're talking hundreds of thousands, y'all. The man of God, a bishop, I called him, Bishop Grand Poobah. He doesn't have to pay a bill because God put him in the position where time, his finances, what he had been doing, where his time collided with his destiny and he was prepared. So there's somebody on here tonight. You're preparing yourself and you're wondering if it's going to happen. Let these two be a witness to you that it's going to happen. You just got to stay steadfast. Don't give up. Don't move, and stay on what you're doing. Don't hop all around and just throw stuff away and think it's not going to happen. Stick with it. You know, he said he did it. He moved from here to here to here. Every great job that I ever had, it was because I moved from one job to the next, not because I did a degree or something like that. I just perfected what God gave me through whatever resource or source that he gave me. So, Dr. Love, you know, I have been begging after I heard the station today. I said, Dr. Love, I want to come and do a Friday groove with you. So Dr. Love said I can come do a Friday groove.
So whatever Friday you want to come on, just let me know. And the doors are always open.
Guys, I always promote what I'm a part of, especially when I think it's good. I think your name is more valuable than your money. And when I tie my name to something, it's because it's of value. So to all of my followers, you know, if you're not so deep and uber spiritual that you can't enjoy good music, I want to talk to those people, those that are not too deep, not so deep, they're drowning, you know, not so heavenly minded, they're no earthly good. I want to invite you to join me on one of these Fridays. I want to invite you, listen, just go check out the music, y'all. The music is good. I mean, I was jamming today, boy. I don't care what car I get in, Dr. T. Dr. T Love, whatever car I get in, 101.9, The Groove.
If you could get Miss Annie Mae here to turn the radio on in the truck.
Annie,
but I
turn
do
the
want
radio
to
on the truck, Annie Mae. Turn it on, Annie Mae.
Because I'm in the house working.
That's all right. I know that there, you know, with every great business, there's somebody that's behind the scenes, like we talked about, that's making things happen. Listen, if you want to promote your business, if you want to get started, if your business is, if you want to get started, I'm here. I can help you. Despico Destiny Center, I do vision mapping, vision conceptualization, whatever, establishing, equipping, planting, whatever you need, I can help you. If you're already there and you've started your business and you're wondering, how do I get my name out? Who do I go to? You got Dr. T right here, Dr. T Love. A 101.9 The Groove. They're just starting out. You can help yourself while you're helping someone else. I believe in this radio station, so I'm inviting each and every one of you to listen. You guys, wait a minute. Let me just say this. This is not a jackleg station, okay? This is 101.9 FM. This is not one of those. Of course, now if you go in a different state or out of a region, you're going to get that. But 101.9 comes in real clear. I don't have to do like this. I don't have to do like this. So you're going to reach a demographic that is further than what you're reaching right now. People get in their cars every single day. I know you guys aren't really I think you're just starting. I don't know if you're taking commercials. I am. I'm doing it right now. So get ready. TD said, get ready, get ready, get ready.
We
guys
do.
Need to connect.
We are.
How do they connect? So tell me how.
Connect with.
Okay, go ahead.
The delay. You can connect with us through via Facebook. We have a Facebook page that is up right now, The Groove 101.9. If you're looking to advertise or anything like that, want to do promotions, if you have any community events that are coming up, we also want to be able to help with the community. We also recently this week have partnered with the VA, the veterans, and we'll have a program where we're sponsoring veterans to be able to help you get your veterans benefits, because we are located in the city of Hampton. You can reach us at 757-902-1245. Also, if you are not in the area and you would like to listen to the station, you can go to our website, www.thegroove101.9.com. You go up there, you hit the listen button, and you can listen from wherever you're at, from your phone or on your computer.
Okay, so that's www.thegroove.com.
Yes. I think the Groove 101.9. 101.9.
The Groove 101.9.com. So that's if they want to go and listen from wherever they are, right? Is that correct? Okay,
that's
so it's
correct.
101.9.com. The Groove 101.9.com. Okay, you need to get this information, you guys. Here you are. If you want to find out more about doing a commercial on 101.9 The Groove, is that the number? 1-245-902-1245?
Yes.
Okay, I got it right. If you want to connect with them on Facebook, you can do that by going to FB The Groove 101.9, and that's all together.
Yes.
So on Facebook, you can contact them, as well as I'm planning on doing this because I'm going out of town this weekend, and I don't want to take a chance at trying to find a station. So we're simply going to connect to www.thegroove101.9.com. Does that look right?
I'm sorry, take the point out of it. It's 1019.com. Yes.
1019. Okay, we're going to fix that for you right now. Yes. So for those of you who want to connect, even when you're out of town, you can do that by going to thegroove1019.com. Just like you see it there, 1019.com. I want you guys to tune in. I promise you this is good music, good songs. I heard some, I got excited tonight. I maybe want to go and watch Ray again, the movie Ray, because she was on there saying, baby! And I could just imagine Dr. T Love in his studio. Left a good job in the city. I'm so excited. I have been blessed to share this show with you all. Thank you so much for coming on. Owners of 101.9 The Groove, Dr. T Love, known as Terry, legally known as Terry Suggs, and Colleen Suggs, the owners of 101.9 The Groove. You guys go check them out. Thank you all so much for joining me.
Thank you.
I'm just going to go ahead and give some closing remarks to our guests who have joined us for WTV Talk. But just before I do, is there a word that you would like to share with those who are moving from time to destiny, from dreams to destiny? Is there a word, something from your heart that you can share with them?
You got it?
One thing, people, let me say this here. When I first came here, I used to sleep in my car.
Wow.
And I slept at the radio station. I was doing nights at the radio station. When I got off the air at 12 o'clock midnight, I would sleep at the radio station until 6 o'clock in the morning. I would get up and walk around because I didn't want the morning people to know that I was sleeping at the radio station.
Wow.
So you have a dream, don't let anything stop you.
Woo.
Just keep pushing.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was powerful. That I'm just speechless right now. Wow. Thank you so much, Terry, Colleen. Okay. Thank you for sharing with us. Colleen, you are truly a serial entrepreneur. You are an intercessor. And I believe also that it's been because of your prayers that your family and everyone around you that you're connected to continues to succeed. All right, Colleen, anything you want to share before we go?
Yes, I do. I would just say this to everyone who's listening. Even though we're in times where we may feel that it's uncertain, it is important that you don't stop. It's important that you keep moving. That remember that as people of God, that we are in this world, but we're not of this world. And
Mm.
even though things are happening around us, we still have to move forward. We can't stop because of what we see. We have to continue to go with the plans that God has for us. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the thoughts and plans that I have for you. Know that his thoughts and plans for you are for good and not evil. So if he's saying for good and not evil, that means that in these times we think that it's evil all around us. Know the plans that God has for you. Know that they're good, they're not evil, and that there is an expected hope and a future for you if you continue to keep your hands to the plow.
Woo-wee! You go ahead now, preacher. Thank you, Colleen, for joining the WTV Talk, Write the Vision, Dream to Destiny series. I'm just going to put you backstage. Thank you again, and again. We love
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Thank
Connect with them now in this season, www. The Groove. You don't believe me? Go check it out for yourself. 101.9. Go check them out, you guys. 101.9 The Groove. I promise you, you're going to enjoy it. Check them out also on FB, The Groove 101.9. And listen, if you want to progress your business, give them a call. They're in they're in the building stages, and so they're growing as well, and you're growing. So the time is now to get on board to start your commercials or start your talk show, or I'm not sure exactly what all they'll be receiving right now, but you can certainly promote your business by calling them and letting them know that you want to promote your business. All right. I thank you all for joining me. Listen, if WTV Talk has been a blessing to you, I need you to sow a seed. We're dropping info every week, you guys. We are dropping info that's going to help you to grow, it's going to help you to move from dreams to destiny. And some of you, I'd like to say to you that you've sown already. Thank you for those who have been sowing seeds of gratitude, to say thank you for taking the time to prepare a show and to be here for us every Thursday night. You can do that by going to Cash App, Lady Cuffy, or paypal.me/Despico. So next week, before we end this series, and I don't know, this series has been so good. We might continue it throughout the year, the rest of the year. But I am working on bringing another beautiful daughter. And yeah, you might be going, oh, you're just bringing people you know. Yeah, because those are the people I want to promote. If you got something good, aren't you going to tell somebody about it? That's right. So I am working right now to get another phenomenal powerhouse, a serial entrepreneur on next week. She's a hair designer, a fashion designer, you name it. She's got her own talk show. You name it. This child is gifted. So I want you guys to join me on next Thursday as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. How did I get here? Being steadfast. Don't move. And whatever you're working on, keep abounding in that work. Your labor is not in vain. God bless y'all. I love you. Thank you for joining me, Despina Marie, on WTV Talk.